Hi all, welcome back to my channel. So today is World Mental Health Awareness Day, and I couldn't think of a better topic than to talk about that of a mental health issue. And I thought that since I have had a pretty long history of mental health myself, I thought that I would give my top 5 tips for dealing with anxiety, which is a mental health issue, today. And so, yeah, I can't wait to dive on in. But before I do that, I should probably give you a small part of my story as to why I might or might not be a good person to give you some tips on how to deal with anxiety. And so, when I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with depression that we believe stemmed from having some anxiety as a child. And so, I was diagnosed with depression. I was treated. I'd say my treatment worked really well from the get-go. In about 4 to 6 weeks from starting the medication, I was starting to feel so much better. And then I stayed on that medication for about a year. And then, of course, throughout between 16, 17, up until today, I've had bouts of anxiety that have been bad. I've had some mild depression, more bouts of anxiety, and then of course when I had a baby, when my first son was born, Ivan, my world was turned upside down. Being a mom is nothing that you can expect, and I was already at risk to have postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression, and so I was scared of that. I might have scared myself into more anxiety because I didn't want to be depressed again, because I remembered how it felt. I remembered all of it, and I just didn't ever want to feel that way again. And so, but I did try to fight through it. I attempted to get back on medication after I had him, but I thought, no, you're stronger than this. Like, you've got this. You don't need to rely on that. Like, you're good. And then I feel pretty confident to say that I had bouts of mild depression between then and up until with my pregnancy and my second son. And so after I had Dylan, I definitely had really high anxiety in that pregnancy, and after I had him, things were okay, so I thought I was still having a lot of anxiety. After 7 months postpartum with Dylan, I lost it. I hit a really low, and I just didn't want to fight anymore myself, and so I told myself, you need to get better, and the one way that you know that you're getting better is to be back on medication. And I'll kind of explain that I didn't want to get on medication because I had learned to deal with my anxiety throughout those years, and I found really good coping mechanisms, and I found ways to calm myself down, and I learned a lot of things to deal with it so that it didn't affect my life, but I just couldn't anymore. And maybe it's because I wasn't just taking care of myself, and I was taking care of 2 babies. And so it was really important to get healthy, to get mentally healthy, and that's exactly what I did. And so here we are. I'm going to give you my top 5 tools for dealing with anxiety. Number 1 is exercise. And I know that this is something that you might have heard, and maybe you don't want to exercise, and I'm not saying you need to go to the gym and you need to pump those weights and you need to do those abs and you need to do push-ups and all these things, but daily exercise, 30-minute walks, 20-minute walks, 15-minute walks at minimum, to get your blood moving through your body and releasing those endorphins, it really does help. I cannot tell you how good I have felt when I have worked out a few days a week. I just feel great. I feel great. So get out there, move your body, exercise. It's healthy for you anyway. It's a good thing to do, so you might as well do it for your health and your mental health. It's just healthy all around, so exercise. Now, I'm not the best at it myself, but I'm getting there, I'm getting better, and I'm doing it. So, exercise. Number 2 would be to eat a balanced meal. And I love me some tortillas, and I love me some cheese, and I love me some butter, and I love me all the carbs, and I love me all the cupcakes, and I love me all the bad things. But I do know that when I eat a lot of those bad things, I don't feel good. And there was a day not long ago, I had been eating bad for a few days, and I was like, man, all I want is some juice or something, just some meat and some vegetables or a bowl of fruit or something that like nothing sounded good because I just felt sick. And then mentally, all that sugar and all those saturated fats and all those things that aren't good for you, they aren't good for you mentally either. And so eat a balanced meal. Number 3 would be to find an exercise, not like number 1 exercise, but to find an exercise or to find something that you can do to calm down. And that's just something I've seen people touch their fingers like this and just go and count. I personally have taken breaths. You take like a deep breath in and you count it in for like 8 seconds. You hold it there for 4 and you let it out for 8 seconds. There's a ton of breathing exercises for anxiety if you just Google it. And so that is definitely something that does help. Just catching your breath, calming your mind, and taking those deep breaths. Try to get to a quiet place. It is more beneficial, but anywhere you are, take a few deep breaths, hold it in, let it out slowly, and just repeat until you've calmed yourself down. But find something like that you can use to calm down. It's really helpful, especially if you're alone, especially if you can't reach someone on the phone. Just find something to help you calm down. And you may not think that it works, but guys, I'm telling you, things like that do work. Number 4 would be to find a person, and it doesn't have to be someone super, super close to you, like your mom or your dad or your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, whoever, brother, sister. It could be anybody. It could be your best friend. It could be a coworker. It could be someone you met at a group. It could be anybody. But find a person that gets you and that knows how to help you, whether they offered to help you and learned how to help you, or whether they just happen to be good at it because they know you so well. Find that person to help you. I feel very blessed to have people in my life that I know can help me. If I needed to sit down and talk it out, I could, and they're not going to make me feel crazy. They're not going to make me feel like what I have isn't real. They're not going to make me feel like I'm losing my mind. They're going to help calm me down, and that's what you need to find. And not everyone is going to understand, and you have to accept that. You have to, understand that they're not all going to understand. And so you shouldn't go to people who are like, oh, you're just thinking too much or being in your head. It's not good to hear things like that, personally, I think. So you need to find someone that will help you and calm you and understand you in the way that you know that you need. And then the last thing to do, which is exactly what we've been doing this whole time, my number 5 tip is to talk about it. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to just talk about it. After I went through my bout of depression and after all of that, I was embarrassed to talk about it because not a lot of people at that time had come out with being depressed or having anxiety. It was one of those things that you still didn't talk about a lot right at that time, but then shortly after is when people started normalizing it. And so once I let it out though, oh my gosh, I felt so good. I felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I felt like I was invincible. And so no, I wasn't running around being like, woo, I have anxiety. But I did talk about it. I was having a conversation with someone I barely knew, and they mentioned oh yeah, I have anxiety and I feel this way and blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, me too. And we would talk about it. I encourage you to talk about it. I am obviously doing it to you right now. I'm doing it to however many viewers I may get on this video. And I hope that by me talking about it and by listening to other people, even on YouTube or even on Instagram or any social media platform or friends or coworkers, if you hear someone talking about it, just talk about it. I promise you'll feel so good. Additionally, talking about it helps you remember that there are other people out there who think the same way. And of course you have those fears like, am I okay? Am I going to get in a car accident? Is my heart going to stop beating? Because you're getting that heart palpitation and you're just feeling anxious and all of those things, and all of those irrational fears start coming to your mind. And that's what anxiety is, guys. If you don't know, that's what it is. It's one thing after another that your mind is just like, and what if this, and what if this, and what if this, and what if this, and you're like, stop it right now. But unfortunately, we can't always stop it, guys, and sometimes we need help. So talk about it, think it out. I can't stress enough about talking about it all the time. So anyways, that's my last tip. I really hope that this video reaches somebody that could have used this pep talk, that could use these tips, because if there's one thing that I would love to do in this world, it's to even help one person out there who struggles in the exact same ways that I do, and to let them know that they're not alone, to let them know that they can come to someone for help, even if that someone is me and it's a complete stranger, that you have people out there that care about you, you have people out there that want to listen, you have people out there that feel and have feared and have thought the same things that you have, and it's okay. It is normal. It is very normal. It is very doable. It's very livable. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. And I'll see you guys next time. So have a great night. And don't forget, listen to your friends, guys. Listen for cries for help, even if they're not saying it bluntly. Learn the signs. Just listen and be that person. Don't make anyone feel like they're crazy, and love everyone. All right, that's it. Bye, guys.